According to Chicago public school leaders, ICE agents showed up at Hamline Elementary School this morning. The staff there say they followed their established protocols and kept the agents from entering the school. According to our NBC News Chicago affiliate, the agents did not detain anyone and left the premises shortly after. NBC News has reached out to ICE officials and has not yet heard back. Joining us now, Pedro Martinez, Chief Executive Officer for the Chicago Public Schools. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
What exactly happened this morning?
So we had individuals that came to one of our schools, Hamline Elementary School, that presented credentials and shared that they were from ICE. And so our staff followed the protocols. We were very clear. We've been training our principals, our security guards, any front office staff to making sure that they know that we are not to share any information with anybody from the Immigration Department or ICE. We're not allowed to, unless they have a judicial order, they're not allowed to even enter the building. And so our staff followed those protocols.
The next day,
Chicago Public Schools now call the chaos and confusion over an immigration scare at an elementary school a misunderstanding.
They are defending school staff for denying access to the Secret Service, not ICE agents. This all happened at Hamline Elementary School in Back of the Yards. Our Charlie DeMar has been pushing for answers all day and is live at CPS headquarters for us with what he found out tonight. Charlie?
All right, guys, so we got to talk about another story that is an example of the propaganda that I warned you guys about that is going to come heavily from the mainstream liberal media in the Democrat Party due to the fact that they know that a vast majority of the American people agree with Trump's agenda, especially when it comes to immigration, okay? And they want to put out propaganda with the intent not to inform you or to educate you about what's happening, but to pull at your heartstrings, okay? And to show you imagery that is designed to make you change your mind about the mass deportations that 60% of the American people agree with, okay? It's very popular. But Democrats and the liberal media and these woke progressives running these liberal cities are hell-bent on standing against Trump and the will of the people. So they will go as far as to essentially make up hoaxes, so it seems, in order to make ICE seem like an evil organization that the American people no longer should support, okay? That's the goal. And the latest story or hoax that was designed to pull at your heartstrings involves the fear-mongering over ICE going into schools.
ICE tried entering the Chicago school that I work at. And let me just say, first and foremost, that I am so proud of our admin for acting quickly and for following protocol and not allowing ICE to enter the school building or to get in contact with any of our students. As a speech-language pathologist that works directly with these families and students, it infuriates me so much to hear that they tried entering the building. To do what? To detain students that are harmless. ICE is purposely trying to detain students, children, knowing that their family members are going to pick them up after school. This happened midday. I guarantee you their plan was to probably detain students and wait out until their family got there to go get them. Schools are supposed to be safe havens where our children can go learn, grow, and feel safe, not places where they can feel intimidation and fear. Although ICE didn't enter the building, what they did do is create fear amongst the community members, because now the students don't feel safe and now the students can't focus on learning because they're too worried about getting separated from their family members. You need to remember that these actions have real life consequences.
So I showed up in an elementary school in Chicago and tried to gain access to it. Don't worry, teachers and staff did exactly what I said that they would do. And they say, fuck no, you gotta leave, and ICE had to. I just want to say it's not lost on me that when teachers and students needed law enforcement officers to enter school to stop an active shooter, they were like, oh no, I can't do that, we're scared. But law enforcement like ICE has no qualms about entering an elementary school and ripping children away from their family. Okay. These like MAGA conservatives that coming into my comments, they're like, you think that ICE is scared of you teachers? They're not scared. I didn't say they were scared. Right? But they're gonna get frustrated with us because teachers, we're stubborn as shit. I'm gonna say it again, good teachers are not gonna give up their students to ICE. I'd rather spend my entire prep here trying to fix a paper jam in the printer than give up one of my students. I would rather clean the microwave in the teacher's lounge.
Okay, and the left, they have come out and say, hey, if ICE comes into schools, then we're not going to allow it. We're going to fight back. Some teachers have threatened ICE agents if they come into their classroom. they are generating all types of fear over ICE raiding schools, okay, and pulling out and deporting children. Now, here's the thing. This tactic may have worked 4 years ago, but in the year of our Lord, 2025, this tactic does not work, right? It's not going to work. I don't think it's going to work because I think people saw the results of open borders for the last 4 years. We've had tens of millions of people come into this country illegally. People have experienced the consequences of mass illegal immigration. Okay, this is not theoretical anymore. Okay, people know what the consequences are. So I think people are just like, you know what? We got to do what we got to do. Okay, and here's the thing. I don't want to see families separated. So if we're deporting the parent, then it would be immoral as a family-oriented person to not deport the kid as well too, right? Because I don't want them to be separated. So we got to deport basically everybody. Okay, I know it sounds sad, it sounds bad, but I'm just saying we have to enforce our laws. You can't set the precedent that no, if you come over here with a kid or if you have a kid here, yeah, you get to stay. That's basically telling people how to stay, right? That is what that is, okay? We have to enforce the laws. So with that being said, the story that they were fake outraging over involved a Chicago school that was allegedly approached by ICE agents, except that's not what happened, right? That didn't happen at all. So now people are wondering exactly what happened here, okay? If the original story that we were told isn't true. So let's get into it.
Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us here on this busy Friday. I'm Alex Maragos.
And I'm Marion Brooks, and we begin this afternoon with breaking news from the South Side at a school there. Earlier today, officials at Hamline Elementary School in the Back of the Yards neighborhood say Immigration Customs Enforcement agents showed up at their door. When asked to produce a warrant, they left. But now ICE says it wasn't them. Chicago police say it wasn't them, and the Cook County Sheriff's Department says it wasn't them either. V. Wynn is live for us at Hamline School. She's got the very latest. V, this is quite a mystery.
Yes, it is, Marion. You could feel the tension, fear, and worry in this community. Some parents tell me they rushed over to the school after hearing reports that ICE agents showed up this afternoon. Chicago Public Schools telling us that staff and security immediately followed protocols and did not allow these agents inside while they assessed the situation. So according to Chicago Public Schools, this happened around 11:15 this afternoon. CPS leaders say some people arrived at the school near 48th and Bishop, presented credentials, and identified themselves as ICE agents. It's unclear how long that interaction was for and who these agents were looking for. CPS leaders say security and staff have been trained and have been preparing for what to do when agents arrived. They say they will continue to follow guidance that unless a court order or a federal warrant is presented, that agents will not be permitted. Here's what the district's chief of education and the principal had to say about what happened earlier today.
The ICE agents were not allowed into the school and were not permitted to speak to any students or staff members. Here is the bottom line. Our students and staff are safe. Our protocols were followed.
We will not open our doors for ICE, and we are here to protect our children and make sure they have access to an excellent education. We stand in solidarity with our families and the Back of the Yards community.
The Department of Homeland Security says this was not an ICE encounter. Chicago police telling us the department did not receive any calls for service at the school. Cook County Sheriff's Office said it's not their jurisdiction. So as you can imagine, this caused a lot of confusion and anxiety for neighbors and parents who have kids attending the school.
Andona is more kids in there, they're not got no papers. You know, it's not fair. They're little kids.
I feel bad for all those children. They should leave the school alone. That's sanctuary right there. So they should leave the kids in school. They shouldn't come and play with them.
So rapid response teams made up of volunteers from different organizations responded today. As school was letting out, they provided families with know your rights information. So back out here live again, DHS telling...
Now, I want you guys to notice all the resources, coordination, and effort they put into protecting illegals. Like, it seems to me that Democrats seem to only be able to govern or to do anything when it comes to helping out the illegals, right? They seem to be very efficient in regards to running their operation to try to protect illegal immigrants from ICE, right? Kind of crazy how that works. But when it comes to actually, doing things for the American people, right? Benefiting some of these impoverished communities, coordinating and getting stuff done for them like they do for the illegal immigrants. Nah, they can't do that. They can't do that, right? They got a whole operation here about how to counter ICE, but the kids can't read, right? The kids can't read, can't write, can't do math, don't know anything. But hey, this school, they know how to counter ICE, right? They know how to push back against ICE. But the kids can't read, they can't do math. Look at where their priorities at. Their priorities are illegal immigrants and helping them hide from the government. But yet their priorities are not on the kids learning, because they fail when it comes to that. And that's the problem. This is the problem with these Democrats.
Us that this was not an ICE encounter. CPS telling us they followed protocols, and they're reassuring family and staff and students here that they are committed to protecting the rights of students regardless of their immigration status. Of course, we are following this story. We'll have another update. Yes, guys, we just confirmed within the last 30 minutes or so that Secret Service agents showed up at the school today. They were investigating a threat that was made. This has caused a lot of fear and anxiety and worry for so many people in this community, initially thinking that this was related to immigration enforcement. So this is what we know so far. According to Chicago Public Schools, several people showed up at the school around 11:15 this afternoon, presented credentials, and identified themselves as ICE agents. CPS leaders say security and staff immediately followed protocols and did not allow these agents inside while they assessed the situation. The Department of Homeland Security now telling us it was not ICE. It was not an ICE encounter. And now within the last 30 minutes or so, we can confirm that agents with the Secret Service was conducting an investigation. A federal spokesperson telling us they were investigating a threat made to one of their protectees. This was in reference to the recent TikTok ban. That investigation led them to a home next to the school, then over to the school. As part of their investigation, we heard from the president of the Chicago Principals and Administrators Association about the steps taken earlier to ensure the safety of students.
Yeah, so what we have here seems like a hoax, right? It seems as if these school officials lied, because I don't know why Secret Service would ID themselves to the school as ICE, right? I mean, I don't really understand that. I don't get that. Unless there's some 5D chess going on here, right, from the Trump administration, I don't see what the benefit would be for Secret Service to say that they're ICE. I think what happened is that you had one of these woke lunatics running the school. They freaked out immediately when they saw Secret Service because of all the rumors about ICE raiding schools and stuff like that. They immediately freaked out because they know that a lot of the kids at this school probably, again, are undocumented. So therefore, they know that they could possibly be a target. So they just freaked out as soon as they saw Secret Service and just assumed they was ICE. I wouldn't even be surprised if they never even spoke with Secret Service, right? If they just say, you know what, we're not letting them in, right, at all. Okay, they just locked up the school. It's like, no, we're not talking to you. I don't know, because what the school is saying at the press conference doesn't make any sense. They gave out incorrect information. If they identified themselves as Secret Service, why did the school say that they were ICE? Either the school is lying or the government is lying, right? I don't know, but if I had to bet, I would bet that the school is lying, right? And the reason why is because they are trying to manufacture these hoaxes in order to tug at your heartstrings. They want to get you emotional, okay? And what I'm trying to tell you guys is that you cannot allow these hoaxes and these sad sob stories to get you emotional, because that's exactly what they want. They want to turn public opinion against Trump, right? They're pulling out everything, okay? They got preachers, bishops, female bishops, woke bishops, ambushing the president doing a national prayer sermon, right? Just straight up ambushing the president with woke progressive propaganda. That's how desperate they are. So I'm not surprised by anything, right? Even this story right here that turned out to be false. Yeah, I think it was made up, right? They decided to blow this up to make it a national news story. And guess what? MSNBC, all these outlets, a lot of them that ran with this, okay, they're going to run with this talking point and they'll never change it. They'll say, oh, ICE is raiding schools, elementary schools in Chicago, right? They're terrorizing black and brown children. They'll be running with that, and they won't bother correcting the story, because the whole point of the story being put out there, the lie being made up, is to get it out there and to have Democrats and the liberal media run with the propaganda. Okay, we've seen this playbook 1,000 times. Okay, they can't get anything past me. They can't get anything past me. So, hey, let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.